Welcome back to Tennis Manager episode 44. The Olympics has just taken place. Uni got in there as an 8 seed after recent successes, and she won her opening round. 64 qualified for the Olympics. Round of 32 against Efremova also got a victory, fairly comfortable at that, bringing us into the round of 16, where the 16 seed Rybakina had been knocked off. So the 51st ranked opponent, who had clearly some good form, did take the first set from us, but we bounced back by winning sets 2 and 3 in that round of 16 to stay alive and take it to the quarterfinal, where we had Anna Samova. The 14th seed was the previous ranked player there, who got knocked off early. And against Anna Samova, who was ranked 18th, we got the victory in 3 sets, winning 2 of them actually quite comfortably. In fact, all 3 sets were comfortable for whoever ended up taking it, which brought us into the semifinal. And we lost. We lost. The last seeded player still in there, Goff, currently 5th, got knocked off in the other quarterfinal, and otherwise no seeded players made it into the upper quarterfinal above us. So the semis, Hannah Klugman went through, 29th ranked, and for us, an 8-2 matchup. Uni 6-1 in the first set. We lose the second set 3-6, and we lose the third set 0-6. But it is the Olympics, and there's something unique about them, in that the finals was between Zhang and Klugman. Zhang taking the win. That's your Olympic gold medalist. Klugman for the UK, silver medal. For the bronze, well, that's the unique thing about the Olympics, isn't it? You've got to have a match for the bronze. So it's us versus Korneva, Uni versus Korneva. Uni losing the first set 6-4, but winning 6-1 for a bronze medal. So Uni has made a bronze medal. But I think the most important thing that Uni has gotten out of this Olympics experience was the development of the untrainable mental attributes. Her fighting spirit, which was very weak at just a 10, is now a 12 plus 2 to it. Her composure and killer instinct, which were definitely decent at a 13, just got a little bit better at a 14. That's going to give her a pretty strong edge when it comes to her abilities. You can see that it actually has pushed her mental average above her physical average now. Where, of course, that technical has languished behind, but has made progress. It's almost a 12 on average now. Only a single 13 in there, but it's almost a 12 for the average. Volley is about to level up. I need to push that through. She's so slow these days. We have to help her nudge things along. But with that fighting spirit was the weakest. It's still the weakest, but at a 12 now. And with good form, it's a 14. The others are 16. That makes her pretty dang good mentally. Her focus is 1 point away from being maxed out. Her agility, speed are a couple. Anticipation, a couple points shy of maximum. Uni, who keeps trying to steal the spotlight from everybody else, not stealing it completely. Obviously, Nos has made a good share of that spotlight lately. Now his form has fallen off and he's super ticked off at the moment. 1 loss and he's lost it. But he's already up to 2.5 stars from the 2 that he was at. He's still number 1 in the junior rankings, and he's climbed into the top 300s in the senior rankings. Now, the form's not very good. There's problems mentally. His fighting spirit's still a 4. It's a 4. But Nos just got an invite for the US Open qualifiers, which for his rank is pretty good to be getting that invite. Now making the deepest run of the week all the way into a final for her tournament. We did have a couple others at least doing second to third round performances before getting knocked out, and Igna has won the 200 level junior tournament. Uni had a 1K tournament, but after what she just did with the Olympics and how many matches she had played, she was pretty fatigued, and yeah, she ended up losing in the first round. 9K, not a good payday. It's not going to be good for her morale or form after that performance either. Nos, second tier, first seed, good chance to at least progress through a couple of rounds. But with the lack of form, he might find things difficult. He lost the first set, but he does win the match. Back-to-back weeks with Uni going out in the first round of a 1K tournament, it had already tanked her form. This will finish that off. She's gone from neutral, and I'm sure that now she's going to be bottom end. Second round goes much better for Nos, though. Very comfortable. Third round, 6 seed opponent, but we get past him quite easily and continue on to the semis. This should help Nos get his form back under control. Mataras also having a good week. The 3 seed and the last seeded player still in the tournament was our semifinal opponent. We win the first set in a very close tiebreaker. We lose the second set in a close tiebreaker and then win a close third set. This was like a final. It was certainly fought like a final. 60 winners, but a minus 21 on forced errors, plus 4 on the forced. So we were definitely the ones controlling the match, but we were making a lot of mistakes today. I like that we had 8 service aces, though. And Mataras also winning his semi, so they'll both play in the final of their respective tournaments. Final was against a wild card who was barely inside the top 1,000 of the rankings, and it was a lot closer than I expected. I thought we'd actually kind of win this one comfortably, but Nos does take the victory nonetheless. And yeah, I was definitely cleaner today. Nothing was dominant. I mean, plus 9 on winners was the main difference. We won by 11 points. That was 9 of them. Mataras also takes his final victory, so that was excellent. We're going to head into indoor season soon. Some training updates. Sella, serve power to a 6, agility to a 10. Tobin gets backhand consistency to a 9. Igna gets backhand to a 9. So there's 3 qualifying rounds to get into a slam, to get into the US Open. And in this case, we've had a difficult draw. One of the best players is who we have in the first round. We are higher ranked than most of the players we could potentially have, right? Through 3 rounds, you're talking about 8 different athletes, and we find ourselves ranked 4th amongst them, meaning, we've got a decent shot at getting at least to the 3rd qualifying round, theoretically, or to the 2nd qualifying round, but we get the hardest draw of the 8. But we have fixed that form. We've got a decent chance. It is balanced. They do have us possibly going through. If we make the tournament proper, we'll play that one. Otherwise, we will speed through these 3 qualifiers. So we've squeaked out the victory on the first one. So Nos giving himself a chance here. He won on service. He actually was minus 3 points overall, minus 5 on winners. Unforced errors, that's where we really got it right. Plus 11, where we were minus 13 on the forced errors. We are now 2nd best ranked of the 4 for our group. Tough match, requires a great performance, and he's given it. We won 6 games in each set, but it took us 3 sets to get there. Great job on the service part, minus 10 on the winners, plus 14 on the unforced, minus 5 on the forced. Overall, plus 8 points. Enough to get by. We're in the 3rd qualifier. We might play in our first Grand Slam. Mataras has won a 2nd straight 100 level tournament. That's going to really help with his form. I've got him scheduled for some 200s again down the stretch to end the season. Let's hope those points can make him a little bit happier, because he's the only one with an expiring contract still. And yeah, better performance, couple straight tournament wins could be enough points to move him up the rankings and at least make him somewhat happy, which could then make it possible for him to sign. Oh, I like that. Us versus 364. Balanced match. Could win. We don't. 7-6, 3-6, 6-7. So third qualifier. We were almost 40 behind on the winners. 25 ahead on the unforced errors. Yikes. That was still a healthy 27,000 though. There's a proper cash cow moment from Nuss. Uni, I was able to push that volley up to an 11. She only needed 1% to get there. Manaras is all the way up to 76th. I thought that was already his goal for the year. Was it 50? It was 50. It was 50. Now, 75 might be... I mean, that's the next milestone after 50 would be 75. He might get a quarter eval. Maybe even a half eval if we can get him to 75. So, very close. Very, very close on that. He's definitely not going to make the junior finals. And he's not even going to qualify for a junior Grand Slam. Too late to try to get him in. They only have like 64 anyway, so I think he's about 10 spots outside of those rankings that would have gotten him there. Uni progresses through the first round of the U.S. Open, but her form is really bad after those couple 1K disappointments, so she's out in round number 2. Igna also had won tournament after tournament after tournament, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, and then had a first round exit. Her morale and form went instant bottom, both of them. I feel like there's been an update to the game because this year, Tennis Manager 25, the impact has not been as severe. But all of a sudden, recently, the impact has been severe like it was in Tennis Manager 24. It was insane and it was so hard to get morale. Seems to tank really easy again. Tobin, 3 points gained this week. Underspin, agility, and tactical skills. Uni, just shy of 25k for that second round exit. I didn't see a message for it, but it looks like it was a pretty severe injury. It says break of the right Achilles tendon. I don't know how you break, you tear, but that's why she exited in the first round. That's why she's angry and lost her form. It was an injury. Mataras now into the 200s and doing well. He has maintained the form. He's won his semi-final. Can Mataras win a final for a 200? He certainly has the talent to do so. He just didn't have the form for the longest time. But now that he's found it, he's won it. That's hard season number 2 come to an end. Sella, 5 tournaments. She did win 2 matches. She hasn't won hardly a match all season. 6-15 on the year. 6-15 on the year. That is her third longest run. Well, the 2 second rounds. Third and fourth longest run of the year. Or was it? No. It was one tournament just 4 weeks ago. Beirut. She got a quarterfinal. She got 2 victories in the same tournament, and that is tied for her deepest run of the entire year. Yikes on that part, but never mind. It doesn't matter that she's performing poorly. She's 15. She will get better. And the thing is, she is developing quickly, so she will get better. Tobin, 4 losses from 4 tournaments, though. So he dropped quite a bit in the rankings there. Igna, up to 31st in the junior rankings now. That injury sucked, though. Poorly timed. Mataras, up to 79th from 139. Really good job. 5 tournaments, won all of them after this terrible mess, and this mess had been going on all season. And all of a sudden, he's won 5 in a row, including a 200 level now after 4 100 level tournaments. I'm glad I knocked him down to the 100s. It worked. Nas, in the juniors, one tournament and did not go well. That was what tanked everything, right? He lost in the second round of a slam. That was a slam. It was Wimbledon, right? That second round exit is what destroyed his form. In the seniors, he's bounced back a fair bit. 3 tournaments, 1 victory, and 9 wins. And Uni up to 6th in the rankings. She's high enough to make the finals. Not that I expect her to do well there, but she'll get a decent payday for it. She got nearly $1 million over this stretch. 5 tournaments, no wins, but 9 victories on the court. Sella, big gains this week. Return, footwork, and balance all going up. 2 of them into double digits. But Tobin, there you go again. Serve, spin, forehand, and counter all going up. Nas getting triple this week. And it was technical. So forehand consistency, backhand, and underspin all going up. And it's a World Cup week, group stage. We've got a 2.5 star in Sharma this year and 4 2-star guys. So we have a lot more depth. In fact, there's a lot of 2-star guys that didn't even make it. A lot of them are 17, so a lot of them will be around next year. 535 for the rankings for Sharma, pretty decent. Obviously not like Nos's level of quality, 2.5 stars, and a couple hundred spots higher, and only 17. But let's sort this one out. We are looking good on physical recovery. I'm not going to do any bonus. Everybody had good form a week ago, but Paritsky dropped that form. Team chemistry is currently excellent, so I only need to put 1 point in there, which means we can do the 3 into singles and 1 into the doubles. All right, we got the form back up to good. Everybody else is at excellent. Doubles pairings gained a star. Our first round should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward, as Romania, their highest ranked player, is not even in the top 100. In fact, barely in the top 200. Not as straightforward as I expected. Paritsky coming off weak-ish form. This should help him bring that up, but he's got to win there. It's also a victory in the doubles. Romania 2-0 against the U.S. Surprisingly, but not now. That's a win. Second round against Spain. Spain much lower in the rankings and lacking quality this year. First single is a victory. Second single, though, involves my last guy, as we've got a bit of fatigue for Paritsky after his match. So give him the rest on this one. I like my doubles pairing, and I want them to go again. So I didn't want to interfere and take the third and fourth guy, but Gonzalez gets a win. These two are operating as my doubles pair. Good chemistry, good form, and a second victory from 2. None of the nations within our group were particularly difficult for us. Spain still ranked 7th, but down this year. Romania 12th, but down this year. Tunisia is the lowest of the rankings, but they're probably the toughest of the opposition. A top 50 player, 41st, and then 2 guys just outside of the top 100. Still not very difficult for us, and they're only 16, 17, all of them. They're going to be pretty good next year, but we should be able to handle them this time. And we are through on the first one anyway. 1 more victory, and we will have it locked up. And that'll do it. 6-3, 6-1. Paritsky gets the win there. And that was the better guy, too. Chutwan. And we've maintained the perfect record, going 6-3, 6-1. That's a perfect 9-0 in the group stage, winning all 6 singles and all 3 doubles matches that we played to get into the finals. Number 1 team returning to the finals once again this year. And we've lost the last couple. Or 3? We've lost the last 3 in the final stage. It'd be nice if we can get a win this year. Not sure if we're quite good enough for it, though. We'll see. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.